You're such an asshole!
Greetings all. Time to debunk not so much a conservative argument, but a conservative talking point, or at least a non-leftist talking point. And that is the common pointing out that feminists typically don't get married because don't need no man, fish, bicycle, but a large part is liberals don't have children, and therefore liberals will breed out. And it's patently wrong, it's patently false. Not that liberals and leftists and feminists tend not to breed, but the problem is that leftists are not born, they're made. And they're made in the public school and academia system. Right? And this is why you can have a kid who's brought up by mom, pa, kettle over on the farm, and they can even go to a conservative school, they can even go to private school, but once they go to college, private or not, they're brainwashed, turn into little, because, sorry, your child, no matter how precious and special you think he or she is, most people are average, the vast majority of people are average, and most average people do not have the intelligence or the intellectual honesty or independent-mindedness to refuse or reject brainwashing. And so off they go to college. Parents woefully, they themselves being average too, parents woefully inadequately training their children in the element of street smarts, logic, reasoning, empiricism, evidence, data, all the other, simple common sense stuff that we're not talking you have to be at Albert Einstein to figure it out, but you do need to imbue this into your children, which you don't because you're too busy shipping them off to daycare and running them to soccer practice, running them baseball practice, and running them to baton twirling because Lord knows almighty that's going to cure children's cancer. And since you don't raise them to be adults by the time they're 18, independent, self-reliant, self-thinking, logical adults, they are raw material, blank computer hard drives to be shipped off to academia where they are programmed to think and spew leftist crap. And then, because you didn't inoculate them, you didn't vaccinate them, out they come after their first semester. They come back Christmas break spewing all this leftist bullshit and how it's not their fault and they don't have to work hard. And because socialism is such an easy sell, especially to the weak-minded, and they stay that way until they either have children or they get divorced or they're about 45, 50 and realize slowly but surely, no matter how sweet and tasty those socialist lies were, the reality is beating the ever-living shit out of them. Half of them end up going into the public sector or nonprofits or touchy-feely world or just end up on welfare. Some of them, a lot of them, 2/3 majored in worthless crap. And because you didn't teach them agency, independence, self-reliance, accomplishment, achievement, and excellence, they have nothing else in their lives. And socialism is right there, pretty willingly prescripted to provide these blank hard drives with purpose, meaning, age is a false, bullshit, parasitic, worthless, worse than worthless, negative net present value of human life. But they will glom onto it because you've given them no other reason in life to live. You've given them no other purpose of life. You've never said, here's the reason for life, here's love, here's family and excellence and achievement and innovation and creativity and not parasitism and being part of something big. You haven't instilled that in them. And so without any kind of, I don't want to say religion, but point and purpose in life, if you're not going to give it to them, and you're not going to give it to them the right way based on what humanity has finally figured out, what is the reason for people to live, other people, they will take socialism, they will take leftism, and its variant synods. There's the Wisconsin Synod, the Missouri Synod, ECLA, and the Lutheran Church, and there's environmentalism, there's animal rights, there's feminism, there's diversity, there's a whole other group of sub-synods within this larger leftist religion. They will take that religion and they will make it, that will be what gives them value in their own minds. And already there's a huge network and infrastructure and system in place to corroborate that, to tell people, you're so good that you go green and recycle. You're so good, we're all feminists now. And even corporate America is echoing it with the latest year, 2 years, 3 years, even maybe 5 years of virtue signaling. So it is. There's factories. These are assembly lines. There are plants where leftists are purposely manufactured and made, and it's through K through college. So I don't care if the 1970s feminists are dying out and their eggs are drier than a spider egg sac down in my basement that I found over the course of the winter. They will make more. And it's up to you parents, especially you conservatives. I know you're all conservative and you're all Trump supporters, but when it comes time to boycotting Starbucks and going the extra 3 blocks down to a Dunn Brothers coffee shop, well, that's just too inconvenient. So if that's too inconvenient for you to do that, or boycott Coke, or not shop at Target, it sure the fuck is going to be way too inconvenient for you to raise your kids fucking right, so that when they go to college and they go to school, they're not brainwashed and duped by really intellectually inferior teachers and professors. I mean, my God. So, I mean, again, I am enjoying the decline. If you can't even get people on the right to educate their kids about the basics of freedom, economics, liberty, purpose and reason in life, then they deserve the United States deserves what it's going to get. All right? But knock it off with this hope, this idealistic hope. I mean, you even see it. Oh, did you hear? Gen Z is really more conservative. They're more conservative than anyone else since the 1920s. Yeah, until they get to college. Until they get to the factory, where they will be assembled like cyborgs to become robots and zombie leftists. And then you'll have the exact same group of neo-feminists coming through. They will hate men just the same for new and varied concocted reasons, but they won't breed either. Liberal men will be even more pansified than the millennials, if you can imagine that. They won't breed either. And then everyone will say, well, look, they're not breeding. They'll breed out, and then conservatives and all the Christians who have all the children in the world will come back and we'll all be singing Kumbaya with God Emperor Trump. Nope. The next batch will just be brainwashed again. So, you know what? It's up to you guys. It starts at home. It really starts at home. But that would assume, falsely, that you parents are fucking worth your weight in salt, which you're not. You're just as worthless as a lot of these teachers and professors you hate. So, anyway, that's all we got. If you'd like to file your complaints, you can go to assholeconsulting.com. I'm not joking. It's a real company. I actually own it, and it's making good money. We have my blog, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com, where you can set your thinking right. We also have my podcast, if you don't like reading, which I understand. You can just listen to me do ranting like this, except it wouldn't be video. And then we have my books, which if you really want to get serious about saving America, go buy my books. Enjoy the Decline, Curse of the High IQ, Worthless. That'd be a good one, especially for those of you with kids. Oh, I want my child not to turn out to be a leftist piece of shit. Well, go get Worthless and Reconnaissance Man. So we'll see you guys later. Toodles.